What's up everyone, Kyle says new. Welcome back to another video. Today we have my AEW Double or Not in 2022 review, and like always AEW killed it with these big pay-per-view events. Really enjoyable show, really good show. And yeah, we have a lot to cover, so I'm not going to waffle too much in the intro, but as I mentioned, AEW killing it once again. Highly recommend watching the show if you didn't catch it last night. Let's go straight into it. We will be starting with the pre-show, or the buy-in, I should say. Of course, in the buy-in, they do the hype videos promoting, hyping up all the matches. I'm not going to cover them because AEW, I love those video packages they do. A lot of them are very good. The production on them, they do a good job. But the actual buy-in kicks off with Max Caster performing a rap, welcoming everyone to the show on behalf of the Acclaimed, and of course the Ass Boys, which is Colton and Austin Gunn of the Gun Club. Ass Boys get the show name wrong, and then Bones, corrects him, does his catchphrase, the Acclaimed have arrived. I love the Acclaimed. I absolutely love Bones and Caster. They're very entertaining. And I've been really enjoying this angle with the Gun Club, where Austin and Colton kind of keep messing up. They kind of keep making mistakes, and the Acclaim kind of doing stuff right. And Billy Gunn is kind of like, he's showing like more affection and he cares more for the Acclaim than he does the actual his sons. There's been some very entertaining stuff around that on Rampage, over the last couple of weeks, and again here tonight, which we'll get into a bit later. Then Eddie Kingston, fantastic promo. Just talking about Jericho and how Chris Jericho is bringing Eddie's demons out again, and that Eddie's going to through a dark place because of Jericho. Eddie Kingston is a legend on the mic. He's absolutely unbelievable, and again, this is another classic Eddie Kingston promo. I definitely highly recommend going and checking this promo out. It was fantastic, and Eddie is just unbelievable. Then, for real reason, everyone tuned into Double or Nothing, and they put it on the buy-in for everyone because they knew everyone wants to see Hookhausen, so they gave it away for free. And that Hookhausen get the win over Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling in a very, very fun tag team match. I really enjoyed this match. It was what I wanted it to be. Hookhausen get the win after Hook just throws Sterling and Nese around the place. Danhausen comes in for the pin, and Hookhausen get the win over Smart Mark and Nese. Very, very fun tag team match. Very enjoyable tag team match. I really enjoyed it. Again, definitely something to check out. Hookhausen, very, very excited to see what more to come from them. Hook, I've been a big fan of since day one. Danhausen's very entertaining as well, even before he came into AEW. So putting them together, it's a unique dynamic. It's like a unique odd pairing, an oddball pairing that it's working, and it is over as hell. And very, very excited to see what else comes for Hookhausen. And I'm very interested to see where AEW go with Tony Nese now. As well, because I do like Tony Nese, and I really like Smart Mark Sterling as well. I think him and Nese have a good dynamic as well together. And we'll get into some more stuff with Mark Sterling later on as we move into the main card. So main show kicks off with Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF versus Wardlow. Yes, MJF did show up. There was rumours where, is he going to show up? Oh, he's flying out of Dublin or not, and he no-showed fan access and all that stuff. Well, he was there, and I have no idea, was all the reports real of him, the whole plane stuff? Was it a work? Was it real? I still have no clue. But he was there at Double or Nothing. He even kind of mocked the plane thing because he was in the ring after making his entrance, and he done like a plane motion and spun around it. Really cool Wardlow entrance where he's like in a holding cell backstage, cuffed up, and kind of then in Goldberg style security walking him out, of course, with no music as the stipulation with MJF. And if you've been kind of following the feud, you know why he has no music, because MJF, he's still technically under contract with MJF, so MJF said no music for you. Of course, Wardlow gets the win, which means he is free from that contract with MJF and has now officially signed in story with All Elite Wrestling. Wardlow is All Elite. Match was perfect. Match was everything it needed to be. Max being this squirmy heel trying to get out of Wardlow's way, trying to avoid Wardlow. But then Wardlow gets his hands on MJF, just powerbomb after powerbomb after powerbomb after powerbomb after powerbomb, killing MJF with powerbombs, puts Wardlow over as a massive star, just getting his revenge back on the heel. Perfect booking. I feel like this was the match that it needed to be, following the whole story. At least that's my opinion. I thought the booking of the angle into the match, where the match continued on with the perfect booking. And yeah, MJF gets stretchered out after the match. So maybe they're writing MJF off of TV for a while. So yeah, very interested to see how all this MJF stuff plays out. What really happened? Was it all work? Is it real? And I'm very interested to see what happens next with MJF. Does he come back to AEW? Is this it? Is he written off for good? How long is he written? Or is he come back, and how long is he written off for? But yeah, very, very interested to see all that kind of side of stuff. And you know, maybe if I'll make a video, I'm not going to make a video on this specific situation because like I don't really know it's a kind of a lot of different stories going around. But you know, if it ever comes out like a proper story, maybe I'll make a video on it. Or if there's more developments, maybe we'll make a video on it then. But yeah, perfect match to get Wardlow over as a star. And yeah, I thought the booking continued on from the strong booking leading into it. And yeah, Young Bucks versus the Hardys, very, very good tag team match as well. Really enjoyed this match. You know, typical Hardy Boys match, typical Young Bucks match, you know, where they both just did their typical spots, and it worked. Jeff Hardy hit a 6-1 bomb to Matt Jackson on the steps to the outside. In the ring, twist fate to Nick. Jeff tags in, Swanton Bomb, 1, 2, 3, and the Hardys get the win over the Bucks in a good tag team match. Not really as much to say there, but I did enjoy that one. Then we kind of get the more stuff with The Acclaimed, as I mentioned. The Acclaimed and the Gun Club pre-tape, where they're basically saying we're going to have a good time here in Vegas. And they basically, then we see Billy picks up the camera and I'm assuming it's the next day, outside their hotel room. He's like, I've been looking for the boys, and I finally found them, and here they are. Look at them. Calls Austin and Colton disappointments because they're, you know, one's drunk, passed out in the shower, one's like in the bed. But then he looks over at the Acclaimed and he's like, oh, look how cute they are, and like it's just Castor lying in bed, Bones like asleep doing the like scissor thing in like the wheelchair because of his injury, and he takes like the blanket. I can't remember if it was Colton or Austin, but takes off one of the Gun Club and puts it on Max Caster, and kind of, as I said, kind of continue on, kind of showing Billy Gunn kind of caring more for the Acclaimed than his own sons, and I'm actually kind of enjoying the angle. And there's been some good stuff here with it. So yeah, Jade Cargill then retains the TBS Championship over Anna Jay in a solid matchup. Nothing too special, but it's more of kind of stuff that happened that makes it special rather than the actual belt-to-belt stuff. But yeah. So, you know, there's a spot, Mark Sterling comes out, tries to give the crutch, because, you know, he's on a crutch after his match earlier. Tries to give it to Jade Cargill. Anna intercepts it and kind of uses it. They continue on back and forth. They're both up on the top rope. Out comes Stokely Hathaway. Big fan of Stokely from even before his time in NXT as Malcolm Bivens, but he's here in AEW. Putting him with Jade Cargill is the right call. You know, probably going to separate her from Sterling, you know. Kind of say, oh, Mark, you messed up. You nearly cost me with giving her Anna Jade a crutch. And Stokely helped me, because Stokely provides the distraction. Jaded from the top. 1, 2, 3. Jade Cargill retains. Then after the match, the baddies continue beating down Anna Jay. Out comes Chris Statlander to try even the odds. And just kind of stares down. And then comes Athena, the former Ember Moon, makes her AEW debut. Very excited for this one. Big fan of Athena, as I mentioned, the former Ember Moon. And yeah, excited to see her in AEW. AEW continuing to stack that women's division. And, I feel like they've kind of started to get the booking of the women's division a bit more. There's 3 women's matches, 4 including the mixed tag with Paige VanZant and Tay Conti. So, I feel like they're kind of showcasing the women's division a bit more rather than just the women's title. So yeah, very excited to see Athena in AEW. You have some matchups you can think of. Athena versus Riho, Athena versus Shida, Britt Baker, Jade Cargill as well. Of course, your Toni Storms, Ruby Rose. So there's a lot of good stuff possibly to come here in the women's division in AEW. And as a big fan of women's wrestling, I am excited to see what comes. Then we had a really fun trios match. Lots of 6 spots, as you'd expect, between the House of Black and the Death Triangle. I'm not even going to try cover it. There's a lot of insane stuff. I believe it was Penta jumped up Phoenix back, did a Canadian Destroyer to Murphy on the apron. Brody King did a dive and he almost landed on the apron. It looked nasty, but sick matchup. Very, very fun trios match. Just high paced, high offense, high impact. And yeah. Finish comes, Alex Abrahantes distracts the ref, Pac hits a low blow on Malachi, goes up for the Black Arrow, lights go out, lights come back on. Julia Hart, the long-time storybook is finally complete. She finally joins the House of Black. They've kind of teased this for a while. They did the angle where Black misted Julia and she's kind of half turned, but hasn't fully turned in, and is now that's happened. Julia sprays the black mist into Pac size. Malachi hits his big roundhouse kick that I can't remember what he calls it. Fed to Black, I believe, was the name in the WWE. I'm not sure if he still calls it that or if he has another name for it. But yeah, Black hits that big kick and gets the 3 count. And Julia Hart officially joins the House of Black. And as I said, very happy about that. It's been something they've been building, kind of teasing for a while. And we finally got the big payoff here at the big stage at Double or Nothing. And yeah, very interested to see what comes from Varsity Blonde's end. Of course, Julia was associated with them. We'll maybe get some stuff between them and House of Black. Maybe this stuff with the Death Triangle isn't over because of Julia's interference as well. Maybe we get another awesome matchup between them 2 teams. So yeah, very interested to see what comes next for the House of Black now that Julia Hart has joined. On her tournament matchup, Adam Cole defeated Samoa Joe in the final. Very, very, very good matchup between Cole and Joe. 2 fantastic wrestlers. Again, Adam Cole gets the win with the boom. Of course, Bobby Fish interference, kind of distracting Joe at times. Forcing Joe to break the coquina clutch, kind of helping Cole work over that injured arm of Joe. And yeah, Adam Cole hits the boom for the 3 count and gets the win. And then it was at this point we found out that they were presenting the male and the female winner at the same time. And then that's when it clicked with me. I believe I tweeted out, link in the description to my Twitter. You can go look. I believe I tweeted out presenting the male and female unhurt winners at the same time. I guess that means Britt Baker's winning. And guess what comes next? The unhurt women's final. And Britt Baker did get the win over Ruby Soho. I was kind of hoping Ruby would get the win here. Unfortunately, she didn't. Britt got a special entrance. Someone from Fozzy who played the guitar played her music to the ring. And then speaking of special entrances, Rancid played Ruby Soho's theme song live. Sounded fantastic as well. It was awesome. A very cool experience seeing Ruby's entrance get played live. If you haven't seen it, again, check it out just for the entrance alone. It was very good. And yeah, it was a very solid matchup between Britt and Ruby. I feel like Ruby, a bit the crowd favourite in this one. I feel like the crowd were a bit more behind Ruby than they were Britt, which not really surprised about. And yeah, Ruby Soho goes for victory roll. Britt reverses it, 1, 2, 3, and Britt Baker gets the victory and wins the Unhurt Women's Tournament. And you know what? The moment of Adam Cole and Britt Baker, the couple, the power couple, as was it Tony Schiavone or Jay or someone called them on commentary, win the first annual, I believe it's annual, they kind of mentioned that it was an annual, I believe, Unhurt tournament. Yeah, it was a good moment for the 2 of them, especially being presenting the belts for winning it together. And both their names now engraved on the cup. Before presenting the belts to Britt and Cole, Martha kind of gave a little speech, kind of thanking people and congratulating Adam Britt, and of course talking about the late great Owen Hart, a legend of this business. I'm happy that Martha is finally allowed, or kind of has a chance to honor Owen in wrestling. Of course, I'm not going to go into details. It's obvious why she kind of didn't want anything to do with wrestling in WWE for years. So I'm happy that she's now finally honouring Owen's wrestling in AEW and this like absolute legend that he was. And we have this memorial tournament, and it's for the Owen Hart Foundation, so it's for a good cause as well. And yeah, just, you know, kind of like having that moment where Martha kind of gets to talk about it to a crowd and like everyone chatting on and all. It was a good moment. Like I kind of hard to put into words, but it was just a really good moment. And yeah, I'm happy kind of she got to have that moment. Yeah, for Owen really. But yeah, and yeah, Britt and Cole get presented with the belts for winning. Of course, their names get added to the trophy. Let me turn over my page of notes really quick. Scorpio Sky gets the win for Paige Van Zandt and Ethan Page as well in that trios mixed tag match. Nothing really much to talk about. Sammy super kicks Tay Conti after Kaz ducked because they kind of had a bit of disagreement. TKO gives Sky the 3 count, and I believe he pinned Frankie Kazarian. So Frankie and Sammy can no longer challenge for the TNT Championship as long as Scorpio Sky is the champion. I was very intrigued in this matchup going into it, just for the fact that it's Paige Van Zandt's first match. I was very intrigued to see how she do in ring, and I thought she looked okay. You know, her moves looked good. There's kind of a bit more moments where I kind of how do I explain it, where you could tell she was waiting to move to the next spot, like it didn't really flow naturally. But that will come with more time in the ring. That will come naturally. So yeah, she looked okay for her first matchup. I wouldn't say she was terrible. So yeah, kind of interested to see with more ring time, and she kind of gets the flow of things a bit more. Maybe Paige Van Zandt can become some decent. We'll have to wait and see. I thought Frankie Kazarian had a fantastic showing. I love Kaz going back to his days in TNA. And yeah, I feel like it's been a while since we got to see Kaz have a big showing like that. You know, Kaz recently hasn't really had a lot of pay-per-view matches. I can't really think of the last one off the top of my head. So he kind of took advantage of that, and he went out and gave a vintage Frankie Kazarian performance. I was really, Kazarian for me stole that matchup and had a fantastic showing. Kyle O'Reilly gets the victory over Darby Allin. Bit surprised Kyle got the win over Darby, but I'm a big Kyle O'Reilly fan, so I'm not going to complain too much. This was a good physical match. You know, Darby kind of cut his mouth open, was bleeding from the mouth early because of Kyle's. I think he hit him with a stiff knee that looked nasty. Darby just threw himself around and went for a suicide dive and literally almost spiked himself on the head. And Darby, being Darby, just got straight back up. Kyle had to rolled out rolled into the ring and rolled all the way out the other side. Darby's like, I'm gonna go for another dive, and this time gets caught into a guillotine on the floor, and the referee's like, Kyle, you can't win it, I get it back in, and they eventually do. Darby did the coffin drop on the apron. I believe Kyle was hanging from the ropes as well. Looked good, and yeah, Kyle O'Reilly eventually gets the victory over Darby. I believe was it in diving knee off the top after hitting him with the 3 PK kicks. You know, the kicks Shibata used to do, where you just run up, kick him in the chest, and then he hit the diving knee off the top, which gave Kyle O'Reilly kind of a surprising win over Darby. But as I mentioned, big Kyle O'Reilly fan, so I ain't going to complain. Next up, fantastic matchup. Really good matchup, as expected, between Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's Championship. Rosa retains the belt with the Fire Thunder Driver. And yeah, very good matchup, you know, as expected. Deeb and Rosa, 2 fantastic women's wrestlers. and they put on a good show here for the belt, and they kind of lived up to kind of expectations that I had for the match, and they put on a great showing. Next up, probably my match of the night. I love this next matchup. Anarchy in the arena. Let's give a little rundown of this. Justin Roberts, as he's introducing the match, he goes, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan," and hit the fan it did. The Blackpool Combat Club, Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie all come out to Moxley's music through the crowd, and as they come down, JS, who are already in the ring, run out and they start brawling in the crowd, brawling around ringside. And Wild Thing plays on repeat for a good 5 minutes, and I was like, yes. I'm pretty sure I tweeted out, played this New Jack style throughout the whole match. And it seemed like they were. And they had a good way of cutting the music off as well. They had a good reasoning. They didn't just play the music for like 5 minutes. Like, they even looped the song back to the start. They didn't just do that and then decide, okay, we're going to stop now. Jericho went over, and he, kind of the soundboard or something, ripped it out and, that's what stopped the music. So, yeah, that was very good. Great match. There's literally chaos. They were fighting all over the arena. Way too much to talk about, even covered. Santana Ortiz, dive off the ladder through tables. Moxley takes a bump onto, a barbed wire bat. Kingston brings out a jerry can, and as Brian has Jericho on a submission, starts pouring it on Jericho, and he's going to light him on fire, and Brian gets some of the gas on him, so he's pushes Eddie, and him and Eddie start brawling. They played up in commentary. I believe it was Scalbert I mentioned. They have a lot of history with each other. These two men don't like each other, so building up a possible Danielson Eddie Kingston match. Sign me up right now. I'll sign it. Give me Eddie, give me Danielson, and yeah, very, very fantastic matchup. Moxley then had to try separate him. He's like, I'm cool with Buddy, stop it, we're on the same team. And yeah, JAS eventually get the win as Jericho and Hager make Bryan Danielson tap out. Jericho had him in the one. Jericho kind of dropped it into a half crab. I believe it might have been something off the turnbuckle or something, but Hager had something wrapped around Danielson's throat and was pulling back on it while in the half crab, and Danielson passed out, which gave the Jericho Appreciation Society a win. And as I mentioned, they could play it up multiple ways. I feel like this is going to lead to more stuff between JS and those 5. Blood and Guts, maybe, hopefully. It'll be a good one, will it? And yeah, as I mentioned, also could lead to potential stuff between Danielson and Eddie. And yeah, as I mentioned, my match tonight, I liked this one. And yeah, it was awesome. Then Andrade reveals his newest business partner is none other than former Ring of Honor champion Rush. Very excited for this. Rush is a very, very good wrestler. Him and Andrade, I believe, do have a lot of history in Los Ingobernables. I might be wrong about that, but I believe they do. And yeah, very, very excited for that. See what happens with Rush in AEW. And maybe him and Andrade team up, go for tag belts or something. I don't know. But yeah, excited to see what they do with Rush now that he is all elite. Menadier and Dan Lambert cut a promo. Basically, Dante Martin steps up to challenge Scorpio Sky for the TNT belt in a match that will be awesome when it happens. I don't know if it's happening on Dynamite or some other stage, but Dante and Sky should be a good one. Jurassic Express then retained their tag team titles with a pin on Swerve Strickland after they hit their finisher, where Luchasaurus picks him up and drops him into a powerbomb by Jungle Boy. I can't remember what they call it. Yeah, kind of surprised at this outcome. I thought Jurassic Express would lose the belts. I wasn't sure who to, but yeah, kind of surprised. I thought they were going to lose the belts and we'd have Christian turn heel, but we didn't. Instead, they retained, and Jungle Boy Christian puts Jungle Boy up on his shoulders to celebrate. So yeah, okay, we're continuing on with that, and we're continuing on with the Jurassic Express's tag team title reign, and I'm not really complaining. I like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I was just expecting them to drop the belts here. So I'm very intrigued to see where they go with them, who they challenge next. Overall, though, very good matchup. You know, 3 fantastic teams. You know, you had Jungle Boy, Starks, and Swerve doing like the fast-paced, high-flying stuff. You had Hobbs, Luchasaurus, and Keith Lee just being big powerhouses. And yeah, this tag team match was very, very fun. A lot of high-paced, high action. And yeah, a very, very enjoyable triple threat tag team matchup. Main event time again. Really, really good main event. Really enjoyed this matchup. CM Punk defeats Adam Page to become the new All Elite Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. Finish of this match was very good as well. Referee gets bumped. Punk and the ref are down. Page picks up the title and he's like, do I use it? Do I use it? Has doubts, drops the belt, goes for the buckshot instead. Punk ducks it, gets him up. GTS 1, 2, 3, and we have a new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Those self-doubts from Adam Page and him really doing the right thing by not using the belt, but it comes back to cost him. That moment where he doesn't keep the pressure on, that moment where he backs off Punk, ends up being the moment that allows Punk to get back up and get the win. And I'm very happy Punk won the belt. I love Adam Page, but I felt like what else is there to do with Page as champion? He's kind of done it. You know, he's beat Kenny for the belt. He beat Danielson. Had that Texas death match against Archer. Had a couple of other defenses as well. I believe he defended against Dante Martin and a couple of other like small defenses. And you know, he beat Adam Cole as well. So if it wasn't going to drop the Punk, like really who else is there that would have possibly beaten Hangman for the belt? So I feel like putting the belt on Punk was the right call. Very excited to see what they do with Punk as champion as well. I feel like there's a lot of now options. Very interested to see where they go with Hangman as well now. Because, you know, the money in Hangman the first time around was the chase. So now you have Hangman lost the belt, kind of maybe blames himself for that moment of doubt when he had the belt in his hand. Maybe he's like, if I had hit him, I would have retained. Maybe I've messed up. So, you know, maybe, you know, we get to see where Hangman goes now. And eventually maybe rises back up to the top. And yeah, that is going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy, as I mentioned, my match of the night, probably Anarchy in the arena. I loved that match. It was just a chaotic match, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, very, very good card overall. Very, very enjoyable show. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like. Let me know what you thought of AEW Double or Not 2022 in the comment section below. Leave a like on this video. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one.